Hi, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Below the Line. My name is Ifunanya from Brainbox Marketing. And today I have with me Mr. Owolabi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to
Ifunanya.
meet you, Owolabi.
Yeah, pleasure.
How are
to
you
be
doing
here.
today?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, so please introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
Okay, my name is Owolabi Mustapha. I'm an experiential marketer. I run and own a business called MaxConnection. It's an 8-year-old experiential agency. It evolved over the years into a business solution agency. We service major multinational and local brands in Nigeria, and we've also been privileged to also win several awards with some of our brands and activities. And we've got the best of our assets in our people, and that's what it is.
So what has been your journey like in marketing and experiential marketing?
Okay, it's been interesting. I started out to being a finance person. Later I had a degree or master's in marketing management.
Okay.
Then, of course, I moved into marketing communication some 15 years ago.
Okay.
And so pretty much, that's the way it's been. And I worked in several agencies in Nigeria. I've also worked outside of Nigeria, across some other African markets, working on some notable brands. And of course, in Nigeria, we as an agency business, of course, we've been privileged to service major multinationals like AB InBev International Breweries, Coca-Cola International, British American Tobacco, Reckitt Beckingstad, to mention but a few. So we are still servicing majority of our clientele, and
Okay.
pretty much they've been quite excited about some of the works that we've done, and we keep evolving by the day. Like I mentioned earlier, we are now a business, solution agency, rather than just boxing ourselves in the corner of just experiential. So it's an holistic solution of a 360 experience that we provide as a business right now. From your market entry strategy, to how you want to launch, to how you want to be visible in the market, to the kind of story you want to tell about your brand.
Okay.
And so very much. It's content.
All right.
So those are some of the things that we do.
That's interesting. How are you and the agency able to stay innovative from the briefs you get, from solutions you're trying to render to businesses? How is there a conscious effort? Are there mechanics in place that helps you stay innovative and disruptive in your ideas?
Okay, so interestingly, in the last 3-4 years, like I mentioned earlier, we have gone through a re-engineering process, I'll call it, in our business, trying not to be waiting for the client's brief anymore.
Okay.
So we now have 3 business model structure.
Okay.
So we have our briefs, of course, which is a generic and a regular one that comes from the clients. Then we also have our proactive department, meaning we have a team that think through and come up with ingenious idea for some of the clients that we service and the ones that, of course, we are prospecting. Then we also have strategic properties, So those are the 3 fundamental pillars that we have now.
Okay.
And of course, the brief is even more or less like the smallest of our pillars. We thrive more on those 2 other pillars than the brief. So that's pretty much the way we have been operating, and it's been very helpful in terms of capacity building, in terms of strategic property, in terms of execution excellence, in terms of our delivery, in general, in servicing our clients.
In the 8 years that MaxConnection has been in operation, what do you think has made you different or has made you stay in the industry for as much as 8 years? 8 years might seem small to some people, to others it might seem a lot, because there are agencies that have not been able to do 8 years. They start and they fold. So what is the differentiating factor for you?
So for us in MaxConnection, I'll start by saying, I mean, 8 years is more or less like the beginning of the journey for us, more or less like we are even just seeing ourselves like a startup agency by the day. So we don't see ourselves as being an agency that has been existing for 8 years, So we see ourselves as if, we just started yesterday. And one of the greatest assets we have is the people that, we have that work in the agency. When you see a typical Max person, you're able to differentiate them in terms of the way they appear, in terms of the way they excite, in terms of the way they engage, I mean, we pay so much attention in developing our people, so that's why I mentioned earlier that capacity building is very important to us. Then, of course, we are now more or less like a strategic creative agency, rather than the conventional way of doing marketing, So big data is very key to us. Right now, we thrive so much on data. We thrive so much on technology. Most of processes have been moved, from the generic approach to technology-driven, model, where we have different apps to track some of the activities that we do in terms of reporting, in terms of monitoring, in terms of execution, and pretty much, I mean, that has really been very helpful. But of course, the fundamental thing that we have, which is our asset, is our people, and that's the major thing that keeps us going on a daily basis.
Okay, so I understand and I know that there might be a lot of issues currently in marketing and experiential marketing, as a niche. But do you think intellectual theft is as big of an issue in the industry? Intellectual theft in the sense that there's call for pitch, 100 agencies submit their proposals, you are not chosen, but you see your idea being executed by the client. Do you think intellectual property is that much of a deal, or really doesn't matter? And if it is that much of a deal, what do you think can be done by agencies as individual and by X-Man as a whole to mitigate this issue?
Okay, so I'll say this is not just a Nigerian issue. I mean, it's an Africa problem, where your intellectual work is somehow being taken, and all that. But again, every industry or every market have their peculiarities,
Yes.
So in Nigeria, for example, we have different associations, we have different, affiliations, and
Yes.
I think they're doing a lot. For example, the X-Man last year has made, set a standard, as it were, that for all pitches, if you want to participate, you must demand for a rejection fee of 500,000, which I strongly believe other sectoral groups, have started some years back. Yes, it's normal that you still have some bad eggs that will go behind because they are very desperate and they don't think they have all what it takes to add some level of value. But trust me, we'll continue. It's a journey.
Yeah.
And it can't end in one day.
Yeah.
I mean, we are rejected by a lot of briefs or being part of several pitches by virtue of demanding for what we feel is right, because we put in a lot of work where we have to pitch,
Yes.
from the creative execution to some of the design that you do that, takes some time and, conceptualization and resource and a whole lot of things. So, I mean, serious-minded partners or clients, as it were, also value this and also, appreciate the effort of the agency partner and pay for it. And well, for the ones that are looking for a way and manner to scoop or steal ideas from agencies, we wish them the very best of luck. But of course, gradually we're getting there, you know. We'll continue to push. We're attracting value by the day, you know, we're getting recognition by the day. Some of our works are speaking volume, you know, in markets, even in other markets outside of, you know, Nigeria, as it were. But of course, it's just the beginning, and we'll get there sometime.
Thank you very much, Mr. Owolabi. It's been a pleasure having you on the program. And that brings us to the end of another episode of Below the Line. Thank you.